Hello all, it's James Johnson and this is a somber day. Our democracy has been subverted and the Supreme Court has ignored the people's plea for justice in this election. Now, people such as Rush Limbaugh are saying that whoops, didn't mean to click that. Conservative radio host Rush Limbaugh on Wednesday suggested on his show that America was headed towards the conditions that resulted in the American Civil War after a caller asked whether conservatism would ever dominate U.S. culture again. The host responded to the call, first noted by Media Matters, saying that he believed the country was trending towards secession, or the act in which states attempt to leave the Union. I thought you were asking me something else when you said, can we win? I thought you meant, can we win the culture? Can we dominate the culture? I actually think, and I've referenced this, I've alluded to this a couple of times because I've seen others allude to this, I actually think that we're trending towards success, Limbaugh said. It can't go on this way, he continued. There cannot be a peaceful coexistence of two completely different theories of life, theories of government, theories of how we manage our affairs. We can't be in this dire conflict without something giving somewhere along the way. The only time states have seceded in the U.S. history was in the days leading up to the Civil War, when Southern states supported the cause of slavery and attempted to break away from the Union. The move led to a 4-year conflict that left more than 600,000 dead. Limbaugh commented to follow a similar remark made by a Mississippi state Republican lawmaker following President-elect Joe Biden's victory in the presidential election last month. In a now deleted tweet, state rep Price Wallace wrote that his country needs to secede from the Union and form our own country. Wallace later wrote in a tweet that his remarks was inappropriate and in no way represented the will of the constituents of my constituents or myself. I, at this point, believe in many of these things I just read. So I believe we have been winning the culture war. However, how much longer is this culture war going to go on? I agree with the other notion that we are living in completely different realities, and it's causing violence in the streets. In fact, I would not be surprised if we saw armed violence break out in the form of a hot civil war in the near future, which could cause the deaths of many Americans on both sides of the conflict. I also agree with Representative Price Wallace's call to succeed. If one has to think about this from a logical standpoint, we live in a country that is geographically divided between red and blue states. There's some pretty clear geographic dividing lines, with the exception of a couple of the swing states in Colorado. You can easily divvy up the country into red and blue. And honestly, I think that might be what this country needs. That way, the blue states can go on with their ideologies, and they can see firsthand how their ideologies will fail them in the years to come. Maybe after they straight up fail, maybe they will want to make amends and rejoin with the red states. But it's almost like a divorce. I think when a man and woman just can't live together anymore, they should go their separate ways. And if they find that time apart brings them longing to be back together, then get back together. Or if they find that time apart was great and they don't want to get back together, then don't. But I think that's where our country is. I think that is the most logical way to go about this without leading to a massive loss of life. There's just one problem. Since the Civil War, succession in the country has become virtually impossible and illegal. In order to succeed, it would require an unprecedented amount of bipartisan support in Congress to actually overcome the boundaries that were set after the Civil War at allowing that to happen. Would our, I don't want to call them brothers anymore, because that's how I feel about the Democrats. Maybe cousins? Would our cousins in the Democratic Party consider bipartisan support to divorce the union between red and blue states to save lives, to avoid a civil war? Would they be willing to do that? I don't know. However, people could listen to this this YouTube video a year from now and laugh, be like, listen to that crackpot. Because public opinion could change in a year from now. It could, the overwhelming tide of resentment and disbelief and anger that many of us are feeling right now could subside, or it may not. This YouTube video might be just as poignantly on point 4 years from now as it is today, or again, it could be very different situation. It's hard to know what's going to happen in the future, but at this point, I feel logically that our country has grown too far apart. So my recommendations are to A, if you live in blue states, get the hell out. Move to a red state. Get to South Dakota. Get to Montana. Get to wherever you believe is a solid red state that's going to stand up for you as an individual. I think that's the first and foremost thing you need to do is get the hell out of any blue states if you're in them. The next thing I recommend is contact your congressman, contact your senator, and tell them you want to divorce the union. You want to succeed. You don't believe that we can live together with the other states anymore. Let them know. Do I believe most Republican congressmen and senators will have the balls to go about backing such a demand? I'm not sure. However, I didn't think the state of Texas would bring a suit against the other states regarding this election. So, we know we have at least one attorney general with a brass set. The fact that the Supreme Court just dropped this case like a hot potato is very discouraging. It doesn't leave any way to solve the harm that has been done to us American us Americans. It doesn't fix our harm. So in order to have our harm fixed, we have to go about it through other means. I'm trying to do this through a peaceful way, through legislation to break from the Union, because that's what us Republicans tend to do. We tend to try to do things responsibly and in the correct manner. But there are more emotional and more, almost, dare I say, Democrat ways of resolving this, and that would be through violence. Which I don't condone that route. I think we should find a peaceful way to resolve our differences. However, at some point, an American citizen has to say to himself, when is enough enough? When do we need to stand up for our rights? When do we need to stand up against tyranny? When do we need to rise to the level that our forefathers rose to when they stood up against the most powerful nation on earth to win their freedom, to create this republic in the first place? Another thing I would recommend for those of you who may feel more violent tendencies, go join an actual militia like the Oath Keepers. I'm sorry, I almost called them the Oath Breakers. Find some responsible militias to join together with and share your issues with. Don't just willy-nilly go headlong into violence as one person against the world. That's not going to do anything. All it's going to do is incite violence and cause more problems. I think militias are a way to temper your fire, so to speak, and if the day ever comes, at least you'll be on an organized front. So these are my recommendations to the American people. How long this video will stay up, I have no idea. Maybe the big tech will see the sense in the peaceful calls I'm making. Maybe they will believe that the chances of actually accomplishing a succession are nigh impossible, which they virtually are. And they'll just leave the video up because it'll be funny for them to watch us call for such extreme measures. But that's where we are in the United States in the year 2020. It's very sad that we've gotten to this place, but these are my recommendations. So take that with a grain of salt. You don't have to follow my recommendations. You don't have to leave a blue state if you don't want to leave a blue state. You don't have to join a militia if you don't want to join a militia. Follow your heart ultimately. But if your heart aches with patriotic fervor, if your heart cries out in disbelief that this type of injustice could be done upon the American people, then act on it. Get to a red state, join a militia, write your congressman, demand action, do whatever you can. In fact, if you're in Georgia, for the love of God, vote for those 2 senators, because they are the only thing left They are the only thing left, the only line left, because if we go back to what Rush Limbaugh said, that we're winning the culture war, and I believe he's right, I believe we are winning the culture war. If there is no drastic action, if there is no civil war, if there is no succession, and we have to recover the country through the normal ways of doing so, well, we're going to need those senators. And then we're going to have to hope that in 2 years from now, the next election is not going to be tainted the same way this one was. And then 2 years after that, we're going to have to take a more avid role in making sure our election is not tainted the way this one was. So those are other things you can do. You can demand to your politicians to change the election laws to be uniform, stringent, and within the bounds of the Constitution. That's something we need to be doing straight away. So there's still much that we can do as a citizen or as a disgruntled citizen that are within the bounds of civility, without violence. And these are just some ideas. Anyway, I'm James Johnson, aka Sulfur Blade. This is my content. Hopefully you're not enjoying this video as much as I am not enjoying giving it. If so, please leave a like and subscribe, and until the next time, all, peace.